Hi everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great day. So this is a clip from a previously recorded video. This is a much shorter clip of it. But as always, not financial advice, for entertainment only. Do your own research. And I'm invested in closing companies. And if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. And let's get into the clip. We'll get into all the details. But as always, the spreadsheet is available to my Patreon members. And then all of the YouTube members also get basically a printout of these metrics here. But what I wanted to point out to you guys here really quick is their hash rate increase. So at the end of March, they were at approximately 2 exahash. By them getting to almost 4.8 exahash? Let's see here. Where was it? 4.6. So 4.6, that's basically 2.6 exahash of increase in a 1 month. That's going to be one of their biggest increases here that they've had all year that I've been tracking them, it looks like. It's going to be a huge increase for them. And we'll see how that impacts all of their revenues and everything else, but it's good to see that. We can also see here that the 5.5 is the future hash rate. So they were at approximately 2 exahash by the end of March. That left them with about 3.5, and they're installing a lot, 2.6 exahash. That's a lot to install in 1 month. So great job to those guys for doing it. Okay, so let's take a look at the numbers that we do have here on them. They have about 55 million shares outstanding right now. Market cap is at 224 million. And stock price has not been updated today. That will get updated later on. Let me see here. As far as the weekly performance, you can see the weekly performance has been pretty good for the most part, except last week. And last week, pretty much everybody was down for that week. But they have had pretty good performance here going through with their, if you bought 12 weeks ago, you're up 76.8% on them right now, possibly a little bit more with given what happened today. But BTC Production, as you can see here, started going nicely up here in the summer of 2022 and into the fall. But after that, they dropped quite heavily here from October to November. And that was basically because they give back, I believe it was around 3 exahash of miners that were in default through their special purpose vehicles. And ever since then, they've been kind of increasing lightly here, but not significantly. But it has grown a little bit here. Okay. As far as their HODL to market cap is, they pretty much sell everything that they mine monthly, so there is no HODL. Market cap is basically 100% hash rate. And then hash rate left, we already talked about that. And then BTC, since they don't HODL anything, sell anything, it's basically whatever the BTC that they mined in March is, so 173 there. And you can see the monthly difference for the BTC produced here. They had a big drop in November, which we covered already. Their BTC per exahash efficiency has also been coming down here, but they're still pretty good as far as on the average compared to the other miners. They're pretty close to being like the top 5 miners as far as efficiency comes to mind. They have been at, I think, 1 or 2 months prior where their efficiency was the best out of all the miners that we cover. And they're really right at the top of that as well. And then here you can see their BTC sold, how much they've been selling. And they've been selling a lot here over the past 12 months. Biggest number that they sold was in October, 448, 325, 301 in August, and that kind of coincides with what they were actually mining here in those months as well. Okay, so that's that information. Take a look at the hash rate revenue here. Their hash rate, you could see, peaked in October right around almost 3.9 exahash. Then they had to pretty much give back, what was it, 2.5 almost exahash from October to November, so that was a big drop for them. But they have been growing it quite nicely here in the months after that. So that's good there. And you can see the hash rate increases, and it's been about 55 petahash, 200, 79 petahash, and again at 200 petahash. Now we're going to have 2.6 exahash, which is going to be their biggest growth here yet. Now when it comes to Bitcoin revenue has been going up here as well, which is good to see. Their worst month was in December of only 2.085 million. We're up to 4.345 million here in March. Still nowhere near where they were in October. October, obviously, they had a lot of miners running at that time. They mined a lot of Bitcoin. And it's going to be interesting to see if they can get back up to that with Bitcoin price going up, hash rate going up also. So that kind of has an impact on it as well. But if they can get it to 5.5 exahash, see how close they can get to the 8.8. I'm guessing they're going to possibly beat that next month or this month, depending how long the miners were mining. If not this month, they probably will beat it next month. Okay. So, and then BTC sold value, here's all the values that they sold. Consistently, they have been selling pretty much whatever they have mined each month. And then last 4 quarters revenue, we can see that their revenue here kind of peaked in Q4 of 22, which was the June ending period for 2022 at 17.145 million. And ever since then, it has been coming down here. And their current quarter estimate, which would be January, February, March, is right around 11.4 million. So I'm expecting this would be probably their Q3. I'm expecting Q4 to be even better than this now that they have a lot of hash rate installed. And then the last 4 quarters operating costs, you can see that those have been going way up here through Q1 in the September quarter. Even their costs were higher than their actual revenue was, which was not good, but they've been spending a lot of money on miners, growing and everything else. So that's expected. And then you can see that it came down here in Q2 a little bit here to 19.9. Like to see them stay under that if possible for this current quarter or the past quarter and then this quarter as well. But they've been installing a lot of miners, so it might be kind of hard to stay under that. Now, other metrics here. Cost to mine 1 BTC did go up here a little bit, but they've been averaging around between, I'd say, like 10,000 and somewhere around 9,000 on the average here if you look at it all. So it's been pretty good. They have pretty good cost structure as far as when it comes to mining. And then their Bitcoin mined quarterly has come down a little bit here, but you can see that they had a really good increase here in Q1 of 2023, but it did decrease a little bit here as in Q2. Now I'm expecting that to come down even more in Q3, which would be January, February, March. And that's based on what they actually mined here, and we'll look at that here in a second. Okay, debt to equity ratio has been going up consistently here. For some reason, I have the same numbers here for Q1 and Q4, along with the same numbers here for current ratio. I have to look into that, why that is the case. Kind of strange that they would be at the same number there, but it could be, well, I think it's because they report, I have to look if they report biannually, so twice a year, or if they report quarterly. I'll have to look into that. I think that might be the reason for this. And then total current assets, you can see here that stayed the same here for those 2 quarters, which I think is the reason why for it, because they didn't report one of the quarters, and same thing as well for the total current liabilities as well. Total current liabilities, let's see here, I should have updated this to probably be 500 million. Let's see, total current assets. Let's update this. That should be 500 on it. If we look at it, max value will go to 500 million. Actually, let's do that 200 million. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that brings it down, and then we can also do this for that one, bring that one down to 200 million, so that way they're both even. And looking at it here, we can see that their current assets are less than their current liabilities. So that's why we have a current ratio of 0.5 here. That would explain it on that one. Okay. And then institutions here, we can see that institutions have been coming down here a little bit. We did get a little bit of an increase the last month. Shares stayed the same amount. Percentage went up a little bit, or shares did increase a little bit here. But the percentage went up a little bit, and we still have 2 strong buys, 3 buy ratings, 2 hold ratings, 0 underperformance, 0 sells. Price target is still $8 for the high. Average is $6.42, and the low is $4. I have them right around that range as well, with a PE of 15. So current quarter revenue is about 11.4 million. Last 3 quarters was about 47. Combined is about 58 million. 50% net income from gross revenue. I'm looking at about $8 for them, where I think they should be fairly valued. And then if we get to 75% net income, we're looking at $11.99. Now, if they do grow even more this year, which the potential is there for them, but we'd have to definitely look at the balance sheet here, see how they're doing on that. If they get to a 20 PE, well, now we're looking at $10.65 to $15.98. And they are currently at $4.09, roughly right around there, maybe a little bit higher. So I still think that they are undervalued from where they should be. Okay. Now, as far as their BTC production is concerned for this current quarter, you can see here that it's going to be under that 700 some that they had in Q4 of last year. They're going to be about 501, whereas before they had 722, so they are under that a little bit for this quarter as well. But with the current increase in hash rate and everything else, they should be mining better than that. We'll see how well they do, given that the fact that the network hash rate has increased, so that has reduced some of the production output, I guess you could say. Okay, so that is it. Let me know what you guys thought of all of this. As always, a lot of information. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, Patreon members get the Excel files, everything here. YouTube members get the printout, basically, of this. Thank you for everyone there for their support. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or anything like that, put them down in the comments down below. Love talking to you guys there, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, and then we got Friday, and then basically the end of the month. And then we start next week with the whole new slew of Bitcoin production updates for all the miners when they actually start releasing those. Okay, so that'll be fun and interesting as well to see how they're doing. So that's it. Hope you guys have a great evening. I'll see you guys in the next one.